Hey guys, and welcome to Resilient Ratty. My name is Ratik Datta, and this channel essentially talks about my personal, professional, and academic experiences. I've recently graduated from Purdue University, having done a master's in marketing, and my future course of action now is to be looking for a job here in the US. To give a little bit of a background about myself, I am an international student from Mumbai, India, and a lot of questions that I get on my social media platforms such as LinkedIn and Instagram talks about why it's exactly it is so difficult to be finding a job in the US, despite the fact that unemployment rates are at a record low. And that's what we've been hearing for a very long time. We've heard the Biden administration talk about how the unemployment rates in the US are at a record low. And it's true. It's not something that is being made up of being fabricated in any sense. The unemployment rate, which is at about 4%, really is at one of the lowest rates in US history in decades, which is a huge deal. But it just does beg the question of why exactly people are finding it so difficult to find jobs in the first place. So I found an article from Business Insider which spoke about this, and I'm going to be giving a brief summary of what I read in the article. In case you want to read the entire article, I'm going to link it in the description below because for people like me, I actually, in addition to watching videos, I also like reading to reinforce what I've watched. In case you're one of those people, you can definitely go and check out the article as well. According to the article, job hiring has been at its worst rate since 2014, notwithstanding the first year of the pandemic, which is very shocking given the fact that 2020 was the first year of the pandemic, and for obvious reasons, companies were not looking to hire individuals. And 2014 was a year where the US economy was still reeling from the effects of the 2008 financial crisis. And given that that is the case, it wasn't very surprising that the job market was not nearly as robust as it is today. So that really does beg the question of why this oxymoron exists in the first place. If people have the means to be fulfilling skilled jobs, why are people not able to find jobs in the first place? So it's actually a very interesting question, and the answer lies in the fact that though the job market is doing excellently right now, companies are not very confident about what the future holds. Inflation rates in the US are still pretty high. They've been high in the past 2 or 3 years. They're still a lot lower than what they were back in 2022, but they're still pretty high. And given that that is the case, the Fed, which is the central bank in the US, has not cut interest rates in a very long time, and that's not and the fact that the Fed has not reduced interest rates has not inspired confidence in businesses to actually be hiring more and to be having more job openings. Because when you hire more individuals, you're looking to increase costs, you're looking to expand. But businesses at this point just do not have the confidence in the economy to actually be looking to hire more people and expanding. In fact, they're looking at cost cutting measures. Thankfully, the layoffs are not as bad as they possibly could be, but they could get worse if the economy nosedives even more. Another thing which is making it very difficult to find jobs is the fact that because the job market is so difficult right now, people are not really leaving their jobs. Even if they're not particularly happy with their jobs, they're not leaving it because they know it's difficult to find another job. And because of that, because of this fact, because people aren't leaving jobs, there aren't a lot of vacancies that are arising for people to come and fulfill. So the combination of these two reasons is why it's so difficult to find a job right now. First of all, people aren't vacating jobs, and secondly, new job openings are not being created by the company because of a lack of confidence in the economy. We can basically say that the job market is in a bit of a holding pattern at this point, given that everyone is just waiting and watching to see what happens ahead. And this is a pretty precarious position for people who are looking for jobs. Essentially, it's just difficult for everyone, but it becomes even harder for international students, given the fact that international students actually need to be finding jobs in companies that are sponsoring their H1B, that are looking to sponsor their H1B visas in the future. Citizens, Americans in that sense are at an advantage because their job search isn't limited to just companies that are looking to sponsor. International students have traditionally found it very difficult to find jobs in the US, but it's become even harder now given that generally the job hiring is not at its best in the US. I also spoke about how I chose to come to the US over the UK in my previous video, and the UK has officially hit a recession, so the job market it's really in the trenches at the moment. Back in the UK, it's definitely better in the US, but it's not exactly what it should be, and it's not really an ideal situation. But I feel like there is reason to believe that things will get better, and I feel like once the Fed does officially reduce the interest rates and the economy cools a bit, It will give businesses the confidence to hire more. It will give people the confidence to be moving around in jobs more, which will automatically increase the possibility of jobs. The good news is, if you're a citizen of the US, the good news is that if you've gone to a top university like Purdue, chances are that you will be able to find the kind of job that you're looking for. Simply because I have precedence here, most of my American friends at Purdue have been able to find jobs, given that they've had the brand equity of a university like Purdue on their resume. But it's still very difficult for international students, again, because generally, like I said, it's always been difficult for international students due to the fact that they have to look for a sponsoring company. But now that companies in general are not looking to hire, there are even fewer companies who that sponsor that are looking to hire in the first place as well, which makes it a very difficult and precarious position for international students. And in one of my earlier videos, I spoke about the importance of having a laser sharp focus in terms of looking for jobs, with your only focus being on the jobs and not on the negative externalities that surround the job market at this moment. I know it's easier said than done, but what is important is for us to be focusing on things that are in our control, things that are out of our control, such as the economy, such as the Fed, such as interest rates. These are things that are really not in our control. So there's no point thinking about them and wasting our time, because we'd rather use that time to actually apply for more jobs. As per the article, people have been applying for hundreds of jobs, and that's the kind of work that needs to be put in. Since that is the kind of work that is essentially required at this point, one cannot really afford to be wasting too much of time overthinking and worrying about what the future holds. Instead, they should make most of what is in the present, keep applying. And it's also important to be able to give yourself a little bit of a break in order to recharge your mental health. Because if you're only going to keep applying, that is, if you're only going to keep working and worrying about the future, then you're really going to find yourself, you're going to get to your wits end, and that's not something that you can really afford at this moment. So it's very important to have a good balanced day where you are actually applying to a lot of jobs per day, and also giving yourself some time to recuperate from the long process, because it's an arduous process. Applying for jobs, it can get a little tedious, it can get a little repetitive. Another pattern that a lot of people are experiencing in this economy is the fact that they're being asked to give interview after interview after interview, and then the company is just ghosting them, which is very unfortunate in all honesty. When your expectations as a job applicant increases, when you're clearing interview after interview, it really is a very, very unfortunate situation where you are eventually ghosted by the company. And in such a case, all I can say that it's really hard luck, but it's very important to have a positive attitude and keep applying, and believe that one of these trials is going to get you where you want to get. And that's just what we can do right now. As human beings, as social animals, we can be there for each other, and we can try getting through this difficult time. So as an applicant here in the US, if you think that there could be some other reasons for why hiring is not at its best right now, please let me know in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about the article in the comment section below, and having words of encouragement in the comment section for each other, because at this point the only thing that we can really do is to be there for each other and support each other, because at the end of the day we are all in this together. And I truly believe that there will be light at the end of the tunnel. And do make sure that you check out my previous video on how you should be dealing with the uncertainties of the job market at the moment. I think it will really help you out. It's again something that I've been inspired by one of my favorite motivational speakers, Simon Sinek. And I think it was very useful for me personally, and it could be useful for you as well. And yeah, other than that, that's about it for today, guys. I have been pretty disciplined when it comes to making videos ever since I've graduated. I've made a video a week, and I'm looking to continue that. And I want to thank you for your support, because I've been getting a lot more views in the past two videos as compared to my older videos. I want to thank you for your patience. I want to thank you for believing in me despite the fact that I've not been consistent enough, and I want to reward that faith by being consistent. And I assure you that I will be. A video a week is something that is definitely, at the very least, going to be coming your way. And there will be a few shorts here and there as well. Other than that, if you have any other questions about the application process at Purdue, or at any other university, or MBA applications in India, or just any other questions which pertain my personal, professional, academic experiences, do leave that in the comment section below. In case you feel a little shy and you don't want to leave it in the comment section, you can always reach out to me on my Instagram or LinkedIn page. I'll be more than happy to chat with you. That's about it, guys. That's it for today, and I shall see you very, very soon as next week, like I said. Then don't worry, guys, we got this. I know it's a very difficult situation at this point, but just remember that when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And I know you're the toughest of the tough out there, and things will get better. We just need to be optimistic. It's not about toxic positivity. It's just about being realistic in terms of how the economy is. What goes up must come down, and similarly what goes down will go up again. And that's just how the economic cycle works. And as long as we have one another, I think we can get through anything. I genuinely do. It's not something that I'm saying just for the sake of it, but I genuinely believe that with each other's support we can get through this difficult time. Keep commenting, keep chatting, and keep supporting each other. I shall see you guys very soon. Hey guys, and welcome to Resilient Rati. My name is Ratik Datta, and I'm recently this this pattern can, this is known as a, and I feel like we will get out of this zone, and I feel like we will be able to get through this, and I feel like we will be able to get through this difficult time.